Okay, we're live now. And why isn't it finding my screen? No. There we go. Okay, do you still need the link, Jack?
Yeah.
Alright. Cool. Alright, I sent it to you on Discord.
Sweet.
Do. Aaron, do you need help getting in?
No.
Alright.
I just haven't gotten there, I don't believe.
Very cool.
Give me a moment.
Yeah, for sure. I just note, anybody else having technical difficulties before we start?
No.
Cool.
There we go. I am all good to go.
Awesome.
All steam ahead.
Sweet. In that case, let's get her going. We last left our heroes beginning their adventure into the enchanted Feywild. As your party stood at the cusp of this borderland, you witnessed the miraculous exchange between worlds and an ebb and flow across the landscape. To enter the otherworldly domain of the Fey, each one of your party members offered it something unique. Breach offered a silver feather. Sanaj offered it a song. His priest, Amphibious Rippeton, offered a jar of his own tadpoles. Gren offered his blood. Jeff offers a Dr. Pepper. And Gonto offered his name. While many of your offerings had an implicit effect, the offerings of Amphibious and Gren took immediately noticeable effects. Upon entering the water, Amphibious's tadpoles immediately sprouted legs, and the cycle of life took off at accelerated speeds. Gren's blood offerings stained the river in crimson, and emerging from the pool was a new being, a new Gren. He stands naked across the river, his eyes at first darting around, taking in everything, until finally fixating on the original Gren. He observes everything around him, from his appearance to what he's wearing to his body language. He looks at a nearby tree and rips a branch about the length of a spear. He observes it and begins to wield the stick as a spear in the same way Gren would. The The moment, the moment is quite eerie and puts everyone in a state of curiosity and unease.
Hey, Nick, are you meant to be able to see the characters right now?
Can you see them or no?
No, I can't.
I asked if anyone had technical difficulties.
I
and
didn't
you
know if
said
you
no.
put 'em down yet. Or I didn't know you weren't.
Can you see
Sorry.
nothing?
Refresh your page, Colt.
What?
Refresh your page. I was having that problem, and that's what fixed it for me.
Okay.
This is
I
like
didn't.
this is like asking everyone if they needed to pee, and everyone was like no, and then you go 30 minutes, and he's like, I gotta pee. I didn't know at the time if I had to pee or not.
No, he Yo, went. while you're I at have it, to poop. You didn't
send
ask
me
me if I
another
had
link
to
to the-
poop.
Yeah, that's
To the
true. I didn't.
I'm following the original link you sent me, and it's just not working for me right now.
Okay. That's probably because I just changed everything. Okay. That's
Did my
probably
technical
why.
difficulties sprout many technical difficulties?
No. And it will fix itself if we talk less about it. 'Cause I know exactly what it is, and anything that makes me have to talk about it is just a distraction. All right, here's the link again. I posted it in the family chat on Discord. It's the most recent one. Everybody who has a black screen, try that link out. Or can't get in, try that link out.
Nick, why can't I move my character?
That's a good question. I think some otherworldly being is possessing Sinaj right now, and it's as if the giant that controls his personality is being spoken through by and operated through another giant.
Yeah, that one's in the fourth dimension.
Could you imagine that your soul just goes on vacation and like phones it in through God for you? That's what's happening.
Is that a DM? Like, I don't know that I'm in that fucking.
It's
God's a DM,
It's
yes.
the Dungeons and Dragons chat in the family chat. I'll send it as a DM too.
See bot stuff in general. Character sheets, situation reports.
You don't see the family?
No.
Oh, it's probably because I invited you and you never joined or something. I was pretty sure I invited you. Alright, I sent an invite. I also sent the link to you directly.
Okay, while that's happening, I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick.
Okay, does anybody else need to pee or poop? No. We got a watcher on our stream.
His name is Jack.
No, there's two people.
Oh,
Cat Kings. Do we know Cat Kings? Is that friend?
yeah,
Yeah, I'm back.
cool. Alright, Aaron, talk to me here. I can't help unless I don't know if it's working or not. So, did you find the link? Or
Yeah, I'm in.
oh, awesome. Okay, perfect. Sweet. Okay, cool. Everyone good? Any other problems? You should be seeing the stuff. Is anyone not seeing the stuff?
I see the stuff.
Alright, the stuff is seen. Okay, we're gonna go from the beginning again. We last left our heroes beginning their adventure into the enchanted Feywild. As your party stands at the cusp of this borderland, you witness the miraculous exchange between worlds in an ebb and flow across the landscape. To enter the otherworldly domain of the Fey, each one of the party members offered it something unique. Preach pulled a silver feather from his down and offered it so. Zanaj offered it a unique song. His priest Amphibious Ribberton offered a jar of his own tadpoles. Jeff offers it a Dr. Pepper, and Gren offers his blood. While many of your offerings had an implicit effect the offerings of Amphibious and Gren took a more immediate turn. Upon entering the water, Amphibious' tadpoles immediately sprouted legs, and the cycle of life took off at accelerated speeds. Gren's blood offering stained the river in crimson, and emerging from the pool was a brand new being. A new Gren. He stands naked across the river, his eyes darting around, taking in everything until finally fixating on the original Gren. He observes everything about Gren, from his appearance to what he's wearing to his body language. He looks at a nearby tree, rips off a branch about the length of a spear. He observes it and begins to wield the stick the same way Gren would. Gren, your party returns to the thick of your curiosity as these new beings emerge from the pool, stare at you. How you respond is up to you.
They're just going on without me right now. So.
I would since there's blood in the water, can I walk on top of the water? Is that too much?
At this point, the water is a bit too diluted. As much of it is collected and become the new Gren that you see before you. The pool of water itself, while still a dye red, looks more like a cup of wet paint at this point than the original pool of blood that it seemed to create originally. This gives you the feeling that this might not be as possible or very difficult to do if you tried.
How far away is he? Is each one of these cubes like 5 meters or something?
Yeah, each one of these is 5 feet. And so, you notice as you're sort of thinking and turning your head, the Gren across from the pool is doing the same as well, mirroring you in ways. He does such a good job at it that you almost feel connected as one being. But yeah, to answer your question, you're about 50 feet away from the new Gren. Amphibious, staring in awe, is about 25 feet away.
Should they hear me if I just...
Good questions. All good questions. Maybe
Yeah.
some of them are worth trying out.
I feel like I have a bow, right?
Correct. Well, if
I
not,
like
you have
making-
cantrips at the very least.
Yeah. I'm pretty certain I have something that's like...
Oh, you should have a crossbow. Yeah, you do have a light crossbow. All right, yeah.
And that shoots how far?
At least 60 feet.
80 feet.
Yeah, 80.
Can I make a arrow out of blood and shoot it at him?
You well, you can with a really high Constitution check. I'll let you craft simple things out of blood with high Constitution checks.
Okay.
And otherwise, you can use one of your regular
Just 'cause-
crossbow bolts.
Well, just because I feel like if he's made of my blood, then it won't hurt him or anything. I just want to see what he does.
Okay, go ahead and roll Constitution. See if you can create a crossbow bolt of blood.
Oops. Oh,
You raise your
stinks.
hand out and stick it out in front of the new Gren. The new Gren, confused, like a look of confusion hits the new Gren's face, but he kind of does the same, but in like a moment of hesitation. So you stick your arm out, and then a moment after, you see him do the same, and you begin forming a like blob of blood, trying to shape it into a crossbow bolt. But the offering from before has left you a little woozy, we could say, from and so your concentration seems to fail to actually shape it into the shape you want.
Okay.
In a moment of brief frustration, you let all of the accumulated blood go, and it splats onto the ground for you. The new Gren makes an attempt to do the same, trying to create blood from its hand, and you see that it has not quite, like, you see that nothing's come out, but the new Gren continues that pose of its hand out. He continues to concentrate on his hand, like in the same sort of gesture that you did trying to create the blood. At this point, he's just standing in that pose, just concentrating and like focusing really, really hard on it.
Since I'm still pointing out, can I call out, say, "You there"?
You call out to the new Gren, who responds to you in the exact same cadence. "You there." He continues
It's a curse.
to focus on his hand, and stare at his hand as if he's still trying to collect blood.
Well, is anybody else curious about this?
Curious about what, my friend?
Your party is
Big
watching
blood dude
these-
over there?
Yeah, you've watched this mirror match play out for a little bit. How do your characters feel about it? How does Creech feel about the blood sports going on in front of them?
Colt,
Yeah.
how do you feel about these blood sports? How's Creech feel?
I don't think Creech can express words for that. He doesn't have too many.
Oh yeah? Is it creeping Creech out?
Yeah.
Creech is getting creeped out.
This is gnarly, man.
The party continues to observe the new Gren as he's continuing his he's continuing his casting position. At this point, you feel the focus coming from him sort of increase. On occasion, he just seems to continue to repeat, "You there!"
What, me?
On that. Now I think that I shouldn't do anything else because I don't want him to learn more.
Gren gets the feeling that he is playing off of the new Gren's playing off of him, sort of adapting to him.
I think you guys have something going on there, man.
That is why you guys haven't been talking to me. I was muted.
Yes,
Yes.
how's Sinaj feeling right now? With all this weird stuff going on.
I was like, are my ideas this bad? Oh my god. No, but I was asking, is New Gren naked?
Yes.
Ah, New Gren is naked.
Yes,
I'm gonna
absolutely
yell
naked,
at him to
wielding
put some,
nothing
I'm
but a
gonna yell
stick.
at him to, oh, sorry, I'm gonna yell at him to put some clothes on. He brings shame.
You can't say you're dumb.
The party starts yelling, yelling yelling at the at the new Gren, and this seems to waver his focus a bit. You see a moment where like he's sort of like darting his eyes around, very quickly, just looking back and forth, trying to like be like, who made those sounds? And then he immediately goes right back to his concentrating on his hand, and you again hear, "You there?" At this
Is he
point,
copying? Oh, I was gonna say, is he copying anything else that Gren does?
Well, I'll say,
You is the name of the man on second.
the mimicry seems
yeah,
to
who's
have
on second?
he seems to have moved from just like completely mimicking anything that Gremlin does to now concentrating on this like spell casting pose. And as you have like in this moment where you kind of yelled things at him, you saw that his concentration sort of waned for a brief period, but he regained his concentration. Looks like he's focusing really hard on trying to do something right now, but it's taking a really long time.
Somebody should do something.
You all ponder kind of what to do further as you're observing this new specimen. And you hear the new Gren repeat the phrase again, but this time the tone in his voice has gotten a bit deeper. He goes, "You there."
Me? You was the name of the man on second. Well, that was strange. Let's get going. Bye.
At this point, now that you guys are, I'll say this for mechanics purposes. At this point, you guys are in, adventure mode is what I like to call it, which is kind of like you're not in combat, but you are announcing kind of what you're doing, basically. So if you guys are like, I'm gonna move, be like, I'm gonna move here to, and then just kind of say where you're gonna move. And there's not a turn order, but just kind of keep things like that. You can be like, so Jeff starts, you know, if like, if someone's like, all right, I'm gonna start moving on, you just take your characters, start moving them, say that where you're gonna, like, just kind of do it point by point, and we'll do it from there. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah, it's the same idea with like role playing. If you guys want to do anything, just announce that you're doing it, and then give each other the space to do the thing and play off of it.
I want to start going across that bridge. Making my way. I can't control myself otherwise.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's also a good,
Narrating.
that's also a good thing for me. When I need to do stuff like that. Sanaj, thinking that there's not much else to take from this situation, begins moving across the bridge, and Amphibious is sort of noticing his master, and he's noticing a lot of distance between him, and is figuring out how to meet him as he's doing so. You go to the bridge. It looks like a pretty normal bridge for now.
I will be right back. Sorry. You pass the narrative baton on to the next player.
All right. So Sanaj starts crossing, and the new Gren doesn't turn his focus away from the old Gren. He's still staring the old Gren down in his casting pose.
I don't want to move. Because if it is something wrong with it, it seems like it's focused on me and I'm over here.
Gato, do you think he's gonna move? You don't have much of.
Who's moving right now? I can't. All I know is that this is incredibly new to me.
What's the story with the naked guy?
Well, you saw it when I did, didn't you? Just sort of came out of the pool.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Right.
So you have been paying attention.
Whatever's going
So
on.
do you
I
normally
think
have
Bren's got
naked
the
guys
right
coming
idea.
from the pool, or?
Believe me when I say
Can
this
I
is
get
not
naked?
what I had in mind for our adventure.
Too?
No, I'm not into naked. I did not bring you all the way here for a naked guy coming out of the pool. That's exactly what I did, yes.
Is that like your thing?
No, that's not my thing! Dante's just like red in the face right now, just like, let's just get going now. It doesn't seem like we're getting anywhere with this thing. Come on, Creech. Gren remains suspicious of his double. Jeff, you remain with Gren for the time being.
Raising it.
Is there anything that anyone would like to do at this time?
I would like to stand perfectly still.
He kind of looks like you.
Oh, really? You're right, dude. Maybe he's like my doppelganger. Ganger.
Hey, I'm not a ganger at all.
party moves across the bridge, or at least some of them do, and you get the same reactions out of the Gren. Another deep you there. You've noticed that every single time that he says it, though, it's getting deeper and slower.
Okay, now I think if we go on the other side of the bridge, if it gets a lighter you there, we could do like a musical sequence with this.
You there?
You there? You there?
You there? You there?
Everyone's just going up and down the bridge, just like with the piano.
Makes me think of like a children's game on Windows 98. You're just like clicking the things to make the tones.
Gren, go ahead and roll perception check.
Me?
Yeah. You.
Okay.
You there?
A deception check?
Perception. Your ability to perceive.
Conception check?
Alright.
God damn, dog.
Inception check.
Your connection with the new Gran is beginning to sort of wane a bit. As a lot of the like, as you're noticing, kind of a lot of like the surrounding Feywild begins to sort of kind of react. I guess react is what you would say. There's a response coming from the Feywild, and it's like between the responses that you're getting from the new Gran and that, you are having a bit of a like overstimulating moment where things are getting very eerie for you in an unsafe feeling way, but you're not really sure how to explain all of it.
I'm feeling unsafe.
You're feeling yeah, like you're kind of, your instincts are kind of going against you, as if you know, as if you're being watched by something ready to take you down, like a predator or something. Like,
Yeah, I feel like there's a fucking, like, this water is cursed, or there's some kind of curse somewhere, or like a hex, or some kind of voodoo. And I don't like it. Sam, I am.
You feel that whatever it is waiting on your response in particular. Sort of like it's locked in on you.
Yeah, that's why I'm not moving. That's how you beat the game, is you don't play. It's like gambling, dude. And I'm feeling lucky.
The rest of the party, you're moving around as this standoff between the Grens sort of plays out. It feels like a psychic battle is going on. Like something that you can't see is like exchanging between these two beings.
I'm gonna go investigate that little temple on the cliff to the left. Or is that lower elevation or higher elevation? I can't tell.
That's currently where you're at. Yeah, you observe the temple ruins. As the Grens lie suspended in their animations.
Dude, I wish I could fucking
oh, go ahead.
Ichimaru. I wish I could Ichimaru him with like my blood and just slink a fucking shadow to him. You know what I mean?
That'd be really cool.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, I mean, you could see what spells you got. Maybe you got something that you can work with it.
We'll think.
Yeah. You so Naj, you go and check out these ruins, and they look like ruins. It looks like the remnants of like an old like altar of some kind. Except where like I guess where like some sort of relic stood, because there's like the remnants of a pedestal in the middle of the ruin, along this columned floor. You see a lot of overgrowth and such as a huge tree root has sprouted through it. And the relic that holds it is long gone, whatever it was. You see many bioluminescent plants growing around it. This is all that you're just taking in at the naked eye.
Okay. Can I see what kind of plants those are?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead and roll a survival check. I guess I gotta do that for you. You go down and examine the plants, and there's nothing that is like it's nothing that you can identify, but it feels really familiar to you. Feels like you've interacted with plants like this, but like it feels like a deja vu sort of feeling. Like these aren't new plants to you, but you just can't really pin back when the last time you saw these were.
Okay.
That's as you're staring at these kind of light blue ones.
Oh, dang it, I lost my notes.
You turn around and observe these purple ones, and they feel like you're remembering everything. Like they feel like you are like when you're like smelling these and observing these, it feels like you're bringing up like it feels like you're at like an appointment with a therapist, except like when you like everything, you're on like the cusp of like it's like you feel like you're remembering everything, but you can't actually explain it. Like you're on the cusp of being like of like trying to communicate an idea.
Okay, so you're telling me this plant has psychoactive properties.
Yeah, it feels very much like that.
And the other plant is not.
So
Or
the other
did that
one,
also evoke a feeling? Or was that just like the feeling I had about it?
yeah, it's like I guess that was like yeah, that was kind of the feeling that it was giving you. So like one of them is like yeah, one of them feels like you remember everything but you can't describe it, and the other one feels like you can't remember everything but you can like you can't describe it but you can remember it in a way.
Okay.
Yeah, they're kind of like they have inverse properties to each other.
Interesting. I would like to collect a few vials of each of those plants.
All right, you collect. You collect the 2 plants, and yeah, kind of take in the ruin a little more. You're noticing like there's a lot of symbolism here. For like it feels very naturey. There's a lot of like symbol of like the seasons changing and things like that. But you're also noticing that like a lot of these markings are like scratched out, things like that. Like the carvings have tried to have been like defiled at one point or like something like that.
Interesting. Can I do like some sort of, I guess, history check to see if I recognize the writing, or there's no
Yeah, let's
like
go for it.
whatever archaeology would be closest to history?
You just nat 20 that.
Oh boy.
Yeah, you scratch through every sort of surface of your brain for some kind of indication of what this might be. And you've hit on this idea. Well, you haven't really like heard of any deity of like any fae being that is associated with like, well, you haven't heard of any fae being that's associated with like all 4 seasons. You have heard of the Summer Queen before, which gives you the idea that this might have been a temple to the Summer Queen, or someone related to such a being.
It's the all 4 seasons parent god. The old gods.
You look around and you do see very like indications of the Summer Queen, like things like people like dancing around like a light and things like that, like symbols or carvings that look similar to that.
Okay, so it sounds like it could be like an old version of the Summer Queen, even. Just narratively talking to my pals.
At this point, as you've made this discovery, you hear another "you there" from the new Gren. At this point, everyone is noticeably seeing the shadowy figure of a hand being like eclipsing the bottom of the pool.
Like large hand?
Yeah, so imagine like in the middle of the pool now is like collectively creating a darker spot that is shaped as a hand spread out the same way that the Grens were coagulating blood with.
I do not want to give that a high five. We should probably leave?
Yeah?
But where should we go?
Deeper into the forest!
Right. I mean, can't go any worse than it can now, right?
I mean, realistically, we're just gonna be hopping from danger to danger, and if we're going in this fave forest, like, we have a goal to get to, like, we can't be stopping at every fucking weird thing. It looks like there's a Goliath about to pop out of this lake.
Aye. The elf is right. We better get the move on.
I'm just gonna like. Oh fuck!
Do we have any idea what direction we should be going in, though? Sorry.
That's not fair.
What's that?
Does anybody party? Do we know which direction we should be going?
Good question. You were told, if you can recall, from the fairies, they gave you an advice that you can go in any direction, just not straight through.
Okay, yes, then left.
How about east?
What about Weast?
Okay, left of east.
Left of east,
Oh fuck!
Yes.
we had first.
I don't know which way is east.
First, there was a proposition: exit stage left, then exit stage east. Now exit stage north of stage, left of stage east.
No, left of east stage west.
Left of
Is that in
east
Kansas?
stage west.
Yeah, it's stage west, but you leave on
Nick,
the east
stop
side. Left
acting
of it.
stupid. It's so obvious.
Gonto
Okay.
takes every direction literally and ends up here and then just turns around and looks at Sanaj and is like, yeah?
All right, that's the direction we're gonna go.
A fine choice, my lord! You hear Amphibious yelling across.
Good choice.
My animal instincts have triggered my flight or fright reflexes, and I am in a fright right now.
Frog up, amphibious. We're on the move out.
At once, my lord. The dark hand gets darker in the middle of the pool as Gren breaks his as Gren breaks his finally breaks his position and it breaks his attention away from the new Gren. The new Gren begins looking in all directions again, and at each and every one, his eyes darting to each and every one of you, his head looking around, directly staring you, taking in a moment to stare each and every one of you down.
I honestly really think we should just leave him there.
His head rapidly changes in all directions, and then you hear, "You there."
Purposely do not look this creature in the eye.
You very quickly see the dark hand begin to turn red as blood begins to start collecting into the pool yet again.
Oh god.
Your party sees the anticipating
I can control blood, right? Is it possible for me to control what he's creating?
Or
can
this
make-
is something
slurp up
that
the blood.
the Face Spirits know and is like fucking with us.
No, they're just sitting there watching. They've been sitting there this entire time.
You can make an attempt. Yeah, the two face spirits are just kind of like filing their nails like, oh, here we go.
This is some cabin in the woods type stuff. They're just scientists in a laboratory throwing these fake experiments at us.
Wait, no, couldn't the regular Gren slurp that blood up so we can actually do blood magic again?
Well,
Not
he could attempt to do a lot of things right now because he does have a very strong connection with this new Gren that he just made. So I'm gonna go off of what he says, but with a check. So.
Well, number one, I'm the blood guy. I don't like other people doing blood stuff. It's my thing. Okay? I'm unique. I'm special.
Yeah,
I want to. So he's like pulling blood in his hand, or like at the palm of his tip of his finger. Or what again?
The gesture he mimicked. What he did was he essentially created a spell. If you think about like how a spell works in this game, you do a gesture and you say a command with your catalyst, and then it performs a spell. So. Using mimicry, he mimicked the gesture that you did to create your blood magic to try and create a bolt, and then he used what you said to him as the spoken verbal component for that spell. So he's essentially casting a spell right now. Only it's big, it's very long and drawn out because this is a new being and a new spell and fey magic and what have you.
So it's a big ball of blood?
Yeah. So, so if you want blood control, let's look at your channel divinity right now. Yeah, you can blood domain. Oh, that is your domain. Okay.
Where is this again?
In your features. So I'll let you, if you do your channel divinity right now, I'll let you have a longer control over any sort of action you want to do that's blood related, like blood control related, because you have things like sanguine recall and stuff. And you have all these other, but then also if you want to try any of these other tools out, any of these other channel, like one of your channel divinity powers, you can try that too. Channel divinity is something that you get back on your short rest, so yeah, and you already have 2. So if you want to use it, basically what I'm saying right now is if you want a rule of cool anything, you can with like with a check and like you casting your channel divinity in some way, or you can like do something else like using an actual spell or something like that.
I have a cool idea. I just don't want to. Is it something that if I do something, it could be over soon, or is it something that like this is God?
Let's try it. I mean, I can't tell you what's gonna happen
Sure.
exactly. Or you just, you know.
So I can control the ball that he's controlling, or I can attempt to at least.
Yeah. So you can even. So Gren feels like there is a wavering connection with this being. So he feels as if there's a sort of like he could push back on the magic that this Gren creates. You have sort of a eerie feeling that that's possible. So yes, to answer your question, yes.
I would like to. Gren is going to say bye-bye, and then presumably that guy would try and say bye-bye.
Yes, he does so. You say so. Okay, first of all right. How's Gren like? I guess what's Gren's body behavior right now? Like how's he? Because like he started leaving and then he started heading across the bridge and then he noticed that the blood started collecting faster, right? So now what is Gren doing?
Well, I make it over here so that he's like on our island, or he's close enough, or whatever. I just feel like he's moving with me as I move.
Yeah, you do notice that he it's slight. It's not as you know huge, but yeah, he follows you. At least in like it's kind of weird because he's not looking at you. He's still looking south, but his legs will move because you are moving.
So like the idea is I say bye-bye, and he goes say bye-bye, and then a spike of blood shoots out from his own balls through his fucking face.
All right, awesome. So yeah, if you want to try that, that's gonna take. If you want to try and control the spell that he's currently trying to cast, that's gonna take you to activate. You're gonna need to activate your channel divinity, and then let's see. No, yeah, okay, yeah. I think I can just have you use one of your divine powers actually, instead of rule of cooling it. I'm looking at Blood Puppet right now. Okay, cool. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna say you cast Blood Puppet on it, okay? And then go ahead and roll me a Constitution. Actually, do Wisdom. Go ahead and roll a Wisdom saving throw, or not a Wisdom saving throw, a Wisdom. Never mind. I'm actually gonna have him roll a Wisdom saving throw, I think. Nope, never mind. Go ahead and roll a Constitution or no, Wisdom ability check. Awesome. So growing frustrated with this situation, Gren kind of like breaks his connection, walks across the bridge, seeing what happens, reforms the connection in his mind with the new Gren, and it does in doing so. He gives the cue, say bye-bye, and you see that the blood in the pool begins collecting very, very rapidly. Almost the water becomes almost completely replaced with blood as these two beings merge their power together. And you begin hearing from the new Gren, say bye. And as he does so, almost like it was almost like a 1,000 droplets like landed into the pool at once. You see like little drops like fly out of the pool itself, like it got hit by a rain shower. And then from those little droplets, spikes curve from all sides, impaling the new Gren in all different directions as these arches of blood sort of like harden into like thick like a thick I don't even really know, rock-like substance. In doing so, you cause the entire river to like crust up in this sort of like calcified blood sort of substance.
Mm. Pretty goddamn impressive.
The Grand lies motionless, completely impaled in all directions, as you have successfully. Well, you feel as if you've successfully subdued him.
Oh yeah.
Ren takes this cue and begins hopping across the river now that the freaky thing is gone.
I want to go up to it and try to suck it in, like Cell.
All right, awesome. You walk up to the. Yeah, you can go ahead. You walk up to the mouth of the pool, and you notice the calcified blood looks like, hard enough for you to walk on.
I test it with a rock.
Testing it with a rock, you drops through, and you
Big
notice
rock.
that there's like a big rock. Okay.
Yeah, it's like body weight.
So yeah, you take like a big rock and drop it through, and you notice that there is some give to it, and there's a lot of like sort of like a porous structure underneath that is being like, there's like air holes underneath it. It looks like a clean sheet on top, but there is
It's
some
a film like pudding.
Yeah, it's like there's some structure. There is some structure to it, but there is some give to it as well.
I'm like an angel, right? Like I got wings. Do I not?
You can't fly.
Or do I? Right.
But
Can I kind of like tippy toe with them, like lighten myself? I'm asking a lot. I know. I'm just curious.
No, I don't think so. But you can carefully cross it. Like,
Yeah, enough to where I try not to break through. I just want to get up to him so I can suck him in real quick, so he can't do any more damage.
Yeah, you get the idea that it'll support your body weight if you cross.
Okay.
All right, you
then we attempt it. Yeah.
Cool. You go across, and you go to the imprisoned, like the blood imprisoned Gren, and you notice him still a little twitchy, despite being like impaled in every direction. As you approach, you notice that every area that, like, he's bleeding out of every point that he was impaled through, and it is quite a lot of blood. Like there's just kind of like a little creek of blood kind of just like pouring down into the pool. Yeah. You reach your hand through the bars or through the spikes and try to make contact with his skin, or specifically at kind of a more open point that you can collect his blood, and as you begin to do so, you start like, you know, sucking it in or something, like collecting it in the way that Gren does. And however that is, I don't know. Gren might Kirby it or something for all I know.
He has a straw.
Yeah,
He's
exactly.
sticking him. Sticking in his face.
And it begins to hurt. You notice pain coming from the blood, like the point which you're collecting the blood from.
Keep going.
You get like a bitter taste to it. It's incredibly bitter.
What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
At this do you continue at this point it feels like painful, and like it almost feels like it's making you like almost feels like it's making you sick. Do you continue to slurp the blood?
Yeah, I want it all.
All right. Your willpower endures through the pain, through the discomfort, and it begins feeling like 10 times worse as you begin to just sort of like inhale harder. You start absorbing faster. The twitching of the other Gren starts getting more severe as its like instincts are just trying to get every sort of which way out of it, but the blood cage keeps it confined to its fate. You start hearing it muttering the same things that it was saying before. It keeps, but this time a lot more frantic and faster and broken up a bit. It's like you there, you there, you there. You there. This continues on and gets faster and faster. You there. You. Goodbye. And it just like his form begins to start growing like it starts to like sort of like break form. It starts to like dissolve into a red gloppy pool of blood that you just kind of absorb every little bit through. At this point, the intense, sickening feeling is enough to make you like black out. It is such an overwhelming feeling. You feel like you're going to just like you feel like you're just gonna vomit and pass out. Go ahead and roll a Constitution saving throw.
Second. Okay.
All right. You are absolutely overcome by whatever you absorbed, and the rest of the party watches as you sort of like, it almost looks like you stood up too fast, you know, where like you just like
Vertigo?
Yeah, well no, that's not vertigo, but yeah, you stand up too fast and your eyesight just blacks out. It's that idea, but like incredibly so. And the party watches Gren as just like a mouthful of blood spits out of his mouth, and he collapses face forward into the ground where the old Gren stood, or where the new Gren stood.
Oh, interesting.
Gonto,
Riverton on him.
on once, my lord. The frog hops across the riverbank, and
How big is Riverton? I'm sorry.
he's like half the size. He's like a small person, so he's about like the size of like
Oh,
I guess he's a
I thought he
medium
was one of the
humanoid.
big frogs from Naruto.
No, he's like remember the bullywugs that you guys ran into last campaign? He's from that village. Like fun fact. Yeah, so Amphibious hops across and begins to like make an attempt to shuffle Gren to the other side of the riverbank. And but he's quite heavy for Riveton's stature. And Riveton's just kind of dragging Gren across the grass and the bioluminescent flower bed that is kind of on the island over here. It seems as if I require assistance.
All right, who's gonna go help Riverton?
Sanaz looks at Ribbon having a problem and just looks at the rest of his party like, okay, who's gonna help? Gonto is a bit taken aback. He's at everything that kind of happened. He's like, oh, well, I thought he had it under control.
Such a caring party.
Preach doesn't want to help his friends at all.
Sorry, I was doing something. Yeah, sure, I'll go help Ribbon.
All right. Preach, you walk by Gonto and you notice that he looks a little like anemic. Like he's kind of not really enjoying the sight of all this blood.
Wow, weak. But yeah, I'll go.
All right, Creech hops across and helps Ribbiton, and they just kind of like Gertie. Like Creech just grabs his legs, and Amphibious grabs Gren's arms. You just like Gertie him across. At this point, Gren, you are just like having the most crazy fever dream right now. A wash of like
I'm seeing Porky right now, bro.
Yeah, you
and I don't even know who that is.
He's just out there like, hello.
Yeah, dude. It's a talking spoon. Porky the talking spoon.
That's a callback to last campaign. It's good times.
Porky's my sleep paralysis demon.
Yeah,
I wasn't even in that campaign. I still fear him.
Wait, who? What am I missing?
Oh, Gren.
Yeah, considering you were the only other person there.
Aaron made the joke that Gren is seeing Forky right now.
Oh my god! Oh, Forky! I thought you said Porky. Yeah. No, that was a good little one-off.
Your mic's really quiet, Christian.
It's off. That was the problem.
Yeah. Oh, I thought I heard you say something. Sorry.
The eeriness and the suspense has left with the new Gren. As the tadpoles that the rapidly growing tadpoles that Amphibious made or offered are nowhere to be seen, as well as neither of any of your offerings. The entire river remains a blood-crusted sheet of rock or rock-like substance that you could traverse if you so choose and were careful enough.
You know, We could get that and like make it into a powder and sell it as soup for a very expensive price.
A soup that would taste like blood?
Yeah, and we'll just say it's exotic.
A wild base stock.
Yeah, it's from a
It
different
looks
country.
and tastes like blood. They will
Yeah, but it's
probably
going to be
think
fancy.
there's
Yeah,
blood.
Are you
Fancy
saying,
though.
dude? That sounds really good to me.
Of course, it sounds good to the vampire fucking character.
I'm not a vampire, dog. I'm an angel.
A blood angel.
Yes.
That's exactly what a vampire would want us to think.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Fucking
I'm a blood
sanguineous.
angel,
Calm
not a
down.
vampire. Fucking put some respect on the name, dude.
That's it.
I'm feeling hella
Orgasmic.
disrespected right now, and unsafe.
Oh, you're gonna get canceled.
Gren isn't even awake to feel the disrespect. He can just feel disrespected.
I'm unconscious, but I feel disrespected. Yeah, I can tell it's happening around me. So I'm conscious. I'm woke, but unconscious. You know.
Preach. Until you say anything otherwise, you're gonna be currently holding Gren, with the help of Amphibious, by the way. So if you say
Okay.
if you say that you do anything, you're implying also that you're dropping Gren.
Can I just after I brought him over, I just decided that was enough, so I just let go
You
and
just
had him drop on the floor.
Drops his legs, and Amphibious is just dragging Gren by it, like he's like holding onto his armpits and like hoisting him back, you know?
I just stare at Amphibious with a blank expression.
Hey Nick,
What's up?
can I make a cart with my creation magic?
I believe so. Let's see what you got. Performance of creation. Yeah, you definitely can.
I'll see Amphibious struggling, and I'll sigh as if it's the most annoying thing I've ever seen in my life, and conjure up a cart for this pathetic froggy being.
With the wisp of a magical jingle, you materialize a nice wheelbarrow next to Amphibious for him to throw Gren into, and
Wheelbarrow.
Quick question.
Shit,
on
bro. I
one.
mean, it's my body. Like,
I need
it seems a
do-
little
do holy wods
disrespectful
have
to the
rights?
semi-dead.
What's your
Yeah,
question?
we had a moment there. don't
Holy
you remember?
wads have rights.
I mean, it all depends on the society, you know? It's not a racial thing.
Does who have rights? It's not racist.
This one has some rights. It is ultimately a question for Sinaj. He has the right to do whatever Sinaj says, that's for sure.
This is a topic that could be discussed with our PR.
Yeah, the PR team would
Council?
like to speak to you.
Continue.
You can't be
Alright, fine.
racist against the majority, okay?
At this point, Ganto's kind of taken in his surroundings and suggests, as much as I'd hate to be down a party member, I think that it might be best to keep a move on. I fear whatever might be happening here should we linger.
I agree. Let's listen to the DM-controlled character.
Yeah.
Let's head in that one direction. I made Gonto confused and started heading in.
Right, which direction was that again? I kind of forgot.
It was left, Gonto.
It's left.
Left of what?
Welfed.
It
Why
was,
is Gunter leading us? He basically has dementia.
left of the east direction of north, Who has dementia? Wait, what?
Gonto.
Jeez. Basically has dementia.
Because we're gaslighting him with directions, he has dementia.
You know what? Yeah, that's right.
But that being said, real decision. Let's head up towards that little. I don't know what those are called. Like a delta, like a glade or
Yeah.
swamp.
River delta.
Yeah, river delta. Let's head up towards that. That seems fun. Travel alongside water.
The Wiva Delta.
Hell yeah.
Is he Willy hitting the video on the Wiva Delta?
All right, you're walking along the encrusted crimson red delta. Everything has just gotten like everything almost looks like it's just like a red. It almost looks like red ice the way that everything's kind of like the lights reflecting off of the channels and things like that as the crusted blood remains. It remains the main structure of the river.
Is that all throughout the river, or just like starting over in the area we were in?
No, it is traveled. It went up the stream for quite a ways, it seems. As right now, it's just it seemingly looks like just like a, yeah, like red ice. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, in this part, you find those flowers that you collected are just like covering this area, and little like sparkly like spore-like like bits, particles just sort of released from the plants here and there, as you're taking in the landscape.
Before. I just can't put my name on it.
Across the delta looks like a bunch of logs that could be used as bridges to cross. Of course, like to the naked eye, it looks like you can just kind of walk up the river on foot if you chose to. In this direction, you see that there's like a path that follows north upstream, that follows along the river as well. And then there's also a path that leads into the thicket, into the wood. So you have a few directions you can choose to go. You can try and cross the river delta. You can try to go straight north, and follow the river itself, or you can go through the forest, or you could even follow this trail that was behind you guys.
But I
Alright, Nick. I'm going to confer with the gods on this one. I'm going to take that plant that makes you know everything, but unable to describe it, and I want to smoke it out of my didgeridoo that produces flame.
Okay, and what did Creech want to do?
I just point at the tree shaded path.
Oh.
Does Creech say anything after he points?
Hold on, let me look at my dialogue thing.
Dialogue thing.
No, he doesn't. He just points.
Yeah, so as far as dialogue thing, just for context, Creech is a Kenku, and Kenku technically can't speak to people. So Creech is supposed to communicate in a form of mimics. So like,
yeah, I just don't have anything to describe that, so I just,
remember, I just want you to know, Colt, it's not a 1-for-1. You realize that, right? So like, yeah, you might not have something to describe. Hey, I think we should go into that tree thing over there. But you might have something that's like over here, or the guy over there. Like the new Gren said "you" there a lot. You could add that to your vocabulary.
Oh,
like,
You
I
gotta
already do have that. I didn't look.
yeah. So I mean, as far as like when you're trying to communicate, you can be very, very simple. It could be just like a way to get your. It's just like I want people to get my see me. Like I want to get people's attention so they can see that I'm pointing. Now, this being said, I liked that your character pointed. I just feel like if he wanted to say something, he totally could in that moment. That's the only reason I'm bringing this up. Yeah,
I don't
You
know.
get
I feel like
fire.
Creech would use a lot of mimicry, like charades, kinda. It's like trying to find a word, like trying to find a phrase in his vocabulary to try to use. A little tough, you know.
Well, I mean, he is fluent in Thieves' Cant. So also,
Yeah.
this is a fun tip for everybody. If any of you know Thieves' Cant, you can speak perfectly with Creech. Thieves' Cant is basically sign language in my world. It's basically just like sign language. So,
I think I know Thieves' Cant. I can't remember.
I would have to look at your old sheet. I don't remember seeing it though. So Creech points at the thickened, the dark, shady, thick forest. That's what Creech points at as you guys are choosing directions. So as you're deciding where to go, Creech votes this way. That's what you're getting from him.
I'm smoking the truth leaf to try to figure out where to go, unless anybody has any bright ideas. Because
I
it
would
does
vote to
say,
go to
like,
the
the
mouth
forest
of the river.
won't tell us the director. We can't navigate, so I figured what better to tell us than the forest itself.
Sorry, Gren wants to go up the river?
I want to go to the mouth of the river.
Okay, cool.
I think that would make sense to go to where the river starts, because then the water's still there. We're just traveling along like I don't know.
Well, right now
I don't know. I can't remember.
Yeah. Going toward the source, you mean? Yeah.
Yeah, I just can't remember like where we should meet more people following a water source. Also, I can't remember what the overarching like mission is right now.
The goal at the end, the overarching mission, you guys are on a quest to find a dwarven fortress that was lost in the Feywild. So that's what you're currently looking for, is this old fortress that was the old home of Gonto, and that's where you guys are going to find the answer.
So the door is probably either going to be really high up or at the base. It'll probably be whichever direction we decide to go.
So when you're deciding to follow the river, do you want to follow the side of the river, like the river bank, or are you voting to go straight up the river delta and follow it like almost head on?
Oh, I'm just walking up the side of it.
All right.
I don't want to be in the middle of it.
So Gren votes
but I'll
going
be on the
this
edge.
way, and Creech votes going this way. The rest of the party is deciding, and Sanaj, before he makes his choice, consults the truth thief. All right. While everyone is debating, Sanaj pulls off to the side and just begins ripping this new plant that he found. Anybody who takes a moment to notice Sanaj taking his hit right now, they're just watching his eyes changing colors like it's like a Looney Tunes, like he's a Looney Tunes character. One eye will just like severely turn purple while the other eye is severely turning blue, which is not typical of his usual, like, he kind of has like some reddish like eyes to him. So like you're just kind of watching as that rolls by. His face turns almost as purple as the plant itself as he kind of takes his exhale, and then like you just see him like lay his head back, and his eye like, and just like have like a really like he has like this ecstatic look on his face as he's just like his eyes gloss over, and he maintains like this lifeless posture for like a solid like few minutes as you guys are all just like conversing, trying to think about which way to go. Naj, you you get like a big hue of purple, just like interrupting, like it's just like a bright light of purple that just washes over everything, and you enter a trance-like state where you are watching every single path of the Feywild play out ahead of you, almost like it was like a river that is like changing its wind and its bend. It's as if like you're watching it's like you're watching all of the pathways you could take at once happening before you. This plays out for a few moments, and you find you find that a lot of the paths lead to another place. And you're finding that multiple paths are leading towards certain places and stuff, almost like it's like a node or a web of some sort. And just as if you were just right before you were about to find the exact path, the exact road to take, the safest route, it hits the tip of your tongue, and then you just can't describe it. It just the idea.
Yeah, I figured if you can't describe it, I would still know, and my intuition could take us there.
Yeah. So that's an idea. Yeah. So so you get this map. You get this like perfect map in your head, and then as soon as you try to like consult the map, it loses. You lose the map. It's gone. So yeah, now all you have is your intuition. All you're left with after all of that is a huge sense of confidence and I think it's this way sort of mentality.
Yes, perfect. That is all I needed. We shall go up the river.
Sanaj begins confidently marching in the direction that Gren chose. And wait, sorry. Because I have. So you mean follow the river or up the channel? There's the difference is, one, you follow the river. The other one, you are almost going up through, like you're almost going upstream like a salmon.
Yeah, we are not salmon.
We are not salmon. All right. In that case, Sanaj marches on. Amphibious tallies forth. Onward to glory! You hear from Amphibious. And, Gren, you see that, Sanaj and Amphibious are confidently taking the path that you have chosen. How do you feel, how do you respond?
I kind of just strut forth, kind of smugly, because I won.
Feeling pleased with the camaraderie of the situation, you follow along. Preach, you notice that everyone is taking the path you didn't pick. How do you feel about it?
I look a little pissed off, but I follow them anyways.
Gran, you turn around and see Creech just kind of like stomping its feet against the floor, almost like a kid having a tantrum, but like following along anyway, you know, like they're having a long day at the theme park or something like that. Gonto feels satisfied with the decision that the party has made as well. Jeff, you see that your party is following the river. How do you choose to respond?
Let's go.
And with an enthusiastic "let's go," you guys begin your adventure into the Feywild.
Hey,
What happened to Jeff's voice?
Did his balls not drop?
I'm just
Did they go back up? Did they go back up?
What are you talking about? Jeff's just a normal guy.
Why does he
yeah,
sound
I'm just
so
a normal guy, man. What are you talking about?
Who's the one with the high-pitched voice?
weird?
Did I miss something last session?
What do you mean? It's always been like that.
Mm.
I feel like I'm
Wait,
being
did you guys have a
gaslit right
session
now.
last week?
We didn't have a session last week, no.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you had one without me.
Here we are in the Feywild.
So you have chosen to follow along the river. Well, the river seems to respond very quickly to your decision. There's like almost like a sense of like, what's the word? You feel like the river lets out a huge sigh. Almost as if like it felt like at first maybe a sigh of relief, but maybe it was a sigh of disappointment. As you see like the crusted like blood going upstream begins to start breaking apart and dissolving again as the river quickly goes from a soft like a gentle current to a roaring rapid. The waterfall was enough to like splash you on your way out, and that just to show how quickly that change happened. So you continue to follow it along anyway. The river winds and bends in unnatural ways as you find it often taking you in what feels like circles or the wrong way completely. But follow the river you do.
Do we cross this log bridge?
Give me just a moment and then we'll get to that. Often the river changes between shallow streams and roaring rapids that seemingly end up nowhere. The wilderness grows thick around you as you're barraged with a cacophony of unexplainable noises and songs. The distortion makes it difficult to like keep sense of where you're going. But you just follow Sanaj's word. You just take Sanaj's word for it as he goes, I'm pretty sure it was this way. No, on second thought, let's turn around a little bit and go back this way. No, I was right the first time. Let's go this way. And after about a few hours or so of that, you end up in a eventual clearing as the wild opens up, and you find the landscape cluttered with some of the Feywild's many inhabitants. As you arrive in this clearing, Sanaj remembers this sensation of being at this place before and confidently tells you, this is the spot.
Yep.
A calm river bend stretches out before you. Its inhabitants dwelling among the all around the ruins and the natural growth of this place. The ruins show a time before these lands became intruded with chaotic magic. Or maybe just when they did. You're not sure. Ancient bridges and ruins guide you all along the path as you explore this place. So, now we come up along the river. You notice that this river looks very shallow and approachable. And you notice that there is a bunch of there's a bunch of natural wildlife that you haven't seen before, particularly on this log that is bridging the way across the creek. You notice that everything on the log, there's like such a very cool natural like drooping and hanging of like moss and fungus all over this log, but you notice that not a single bit of it touches the water.
Is there a frog on the log?
I mean, it's not at the bottom of the sea, so it can't be.
You
Oh,
roll
of course.
an investigation check for the frog on the log. You see no frog on the log.
Could I inspect the log to see how sturdy it is?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead and roll an investigation check.
Okay, let me move in front of it. I'm trying to find investigation. Okay, there it is.
All right, this looks like to you. It looks like it is a very sturdy log. It is covered in a lot of moss and fungus, the likes of which you have never seen before. It is very glowy fungus. Some of them look like blisters. A lot of them glow like red, orangish colors. And aside from that, it looks like a very typical log to you. And it does, to answer your question, it does look like you could walk across it to make a safe way across the water.
Could I make an attempt to cross it?
Yeah, go ahead. You just gonna try and cross the river?
Yeah, but I don't know if I'm gonna fall in or not. You know.
No, that's fair. Yeah.
Like, what should I roll for that?
Good.
So the log is thick enough that I won't have you roll to cross it. However, I will have you roll a Ooh, what do I want you to do? Okay, so you begin walking across the log with relative ease, and you notice a rupturing feeling, like sort of a rupturing vibration coming from the log itself as you approach some of this fungus. I want you to roll a dexterity saving throw.
Where's that at?
Go to your it's dexterity. Go click on dexterity, and then it will ask you for an ability check or a saving throw, and then you just click saving throw.
Saving throw. Okay.
Preach, you begin crossing the log, and as you do so, you notice the fungus in front of you that looked like blisters that was like scattered all across this log begins to violently burst at in response to your proximity. You do an artful dodge across you kind of do a
do I just jump over it, kinda?
You successfully avoid the spray of acid and whatever else was coming out of this fungus burst, and make it to the other side of the river crossing. And then as you turn around to look at the log, you notice that the fungus rapidly builds up again upon rupturing. So it is just as volatile as it was the first time you crossed it.
Okay. So, I think I'm good. Someone else can, I don't have anything else.
Yeah, Creech, you kind of wiped some sweat off your brow as you didn't really notice that was going to be a trap right away.
Yeah, and I just after I just sit there for a second, I just stand up, blank face, and give a thumbs up.
You just stare down the rest of your party across the river. I'm good.
He's like, it's safe. Go ahead. I made it.
At this point, the party, you guys are sort of looking around. Gonto looks apprehensive to cross this little log, but he's kind of looking at the queue of the rest of the party. At this point, you notice the further up along, upstream of the river, is an actual stone bridge that could be another way for you guys to cross.
My gut is telling me the stone bridge.
What is it?
So
What'd you eat today?
Was that a question for us, Aaron? Okay.
No, what he said, his stomach told him, so I was just making a joke. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, I didn't even get it.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, your stomach told you that? What'd you eat today, huh?
Yeah, Gren had Gren has a stomach full of blood right now. Oh, Gren, you are conscious again at this point. You have regained consciousness. I forgot about that. This happened.
That's how I said that.
Kind of soon after you guys. This happened soon after you guys kind of made it to this area.
Thank you.
Forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah, my dexterity is not terrible, I don't think, but I still don't want to risk it.
Creech at this point just kind of taking in the other side of the forest that you guys have arrived at. You're noticing some very large trees. Some of them are huge. Although they are a little further back. And then you're noticing similar ruins to what you saw before at the rim of the Feywild. Noticing very similar cobbled pathways and what looks like a ruin in the back as well. You notice that like further upstream, Creech, you notice that there are like ripples kind of coming downstream. It's like you have a nice current right now. It's a very steady flow, very gentle flow in the riverbed right now. But it's being interrupted every once in a while by these like steady ripples. And it doesn't break the water much, but like you're noticing that there is sort of this like something that's coming from upstream, it seems like.
I just look at the ripples and just like kind of just sit there, kind of confused on what it is.
Staring at the ripples, you do notice a consistent pattern, whatever it is. It has a continuous sort of like on and off to it. Giving you the impression that it's whatever is disturbing the water is doing it very like consistently, but very gradually.
Okay. Okay, that's all I have to say.
Yeah.
That's all I can. I have someone else.
I'm gonna look in the log.
Look for a
It
frog.
looked like a trap.
Jeff observes the log, and he surmises that it looks ridden with traps.
You know, they could just
I
flip the
agree.
log.
Hey,
over.
bird. That hurt. That hurt, man.
Jeff yells out to you, Creech. How do you respond?
I just kind of stare at him.
Creech
and
shrugs.
squawk.
Well, I'm gonna go around.
You know, they could, you know how people used to ford wagons across rivers?
What's up?
Like, you know, like when the Oregon Trail happened, like they would ford wagons across rivers. What if
Yeah.
they did that with Subaru?
They do. That's what makes Subaru. Subaru.
Guys,
That's what makes Subaru. Fuck you, dude.
there's something this
God
way.
damn. There's something that way, you said.
Jeff vouches to go around and notices the very nice, well-built, very old bridge that is bridging the way across the river. It looks very well maintained. It's a really nice looking bridge. It's a very nice bridge, in fact.
It's nice, dude.
Yeah,
It's nice.
very well
Uh-huh.
supported, well structured.
Won't they have to get in the
Nice
water a
bridge.
little bit to get over there? Because that's a big rock.
Well, they can go around. This path here is still open to them. Like this,
Oh,
this right
it's just
here.
black for me right
Yeah,
there.
it's
so.
dark because there's terrain walls in this. So
Oh.
yeah, so you won't be able to see the other side if they go over there, Creech, because you're right there. But yeah, that's actually an available path for them to go around.
Oh, am I not supposed to be able to see everything?
You can see everything because you're watching it on the stream, and I can see everything, so you get to see everything.
I won't snitch.
Sanaj has DM eyes. Yeah.
Can you tell me what my scope is so I can see what I'm supposed to be able to see?
Oh, sure. You have a pretty good range, so you can basically see like up to the bridge. You see like there's the
Okay. Yep,
shadow.
I see it. Sorry, there's a little bit of a delay between Discord and the stream, obviously.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, I think I need to readjust that because that delay was set for when I had an older setup. All right, we are hitting around time. So, how's everyone feeling? Do you guys want to keep going? Or are you feeling good for tonight?
Can I use the restroom real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm good to keep going.
Yeah, I'm fine with going.
All right, we can go a little longer then. Let Chris. All right, yeah, everyone, if you want to take like a quick break,
Yeah, like 5, 10.
yeah, get like a little quick 5-minute break, and we can do that. We'll only go for like maybe 30, 40 more minutes, but.
I'm back.
Cool. We're taking like a quick little Ivor. Like a 5-minute break. Something like that.
Bro, I just got this coupon in the mail for Pizza Hut, and I'm trying to put it in on the app, and it's like, sorry, they don't accept this coupon.
What?
It literally has Hastings printed on here. It's just a stupid app.
I bet you have to go like to the store or something dumb.
Yeah, that's the catch.
I might have to walk to Runza.
Maybe you have to use it over the phone. You could try doing it over the phone.
Which Runza?
Yeah, I guess I could call them. It's not that fucking hard to order over the phone. I'm just an antisocial
No,
butthole.
I get that, dude. That is enough to make me not want to do something. I'll do something completely different if I have to make a phone call.
Alright.
I'm just
Yeah, I'm gonna mute myself and make that
I was
call.
just thinking of how you could get your coupon is all.
So
Yeah,
just wait a
no,
little
that's a
bit.
good idea.
What?
So are we
No,
gonna
I'm Yeah, we're gonna keep playing.
We're just taking like 5 minutes so that people can pee and stuff.
Oh.
Think about other things and look at their phone a little bit or something.
I don't know. I was trying to contemplate if I had the time to make ramen.
I mean, your
Probably
5-minute
don't.
break is closely narrowing down to a 2-minute break, so
Yeah.
I don't think so. Unless you make ramen the way I do, but
I mean, it takes like just go throw ramen in the microwave now and just go grab it when
Yeah,
it's
fair.
done. It takes like 2 seconds.
Be right back.
you can learn a lot about somebody by how they cook their ramen.
Dude, I like when my ramen soaks up all the water and it's just like, dude, it's so good.
You put the broth, do you put the base in? Like, do you make like a broth for your ramen? Like, do you put like the seasoning in with like the water, or do you and then season it later?
So like when I get serious about it, as far as just cooking the base ramen, like I will put it in water in the microwave for like 2 minutes or a minute and to like soften it up so it'll break apart. Then I will add the packet and I will mix that around so that it can like hit all of the ramen. And then that's how I do it, kind of. I don't know if that makes sense.
Oh yeah, I get it. Yeah, I cook it like spaghetti. I cook it in the water, and then I strain it, and then I'll throw the seasoning in it, and then mix it up. Then I'll add like tuna or something if I'm going crazy.
Dude, when I was like 20 years old, I saw somebody like put an egg in their ramen for the first time, and like something like inside of me was like, is that against the rules?
I have never had the
You
ramen.
know,
Like,
isn't that like, you're allowed to do that? Oh,
I know, right?
the only type of ramen I've had is instant.
fuck, I got a green.
All right, is everyone back?
Yeah, my thing's in the microwave.
Yeah.
Jerk is not back.
Oh yeah, Jack went to do a phone call. That's right.
Jack. Sorry.
I guess we'll give it a few more. We'll give it a few more minutes then, and then.
Okay, then I'll have time to get my ramen.
Yeah, and then Colt can get his ramen, and then at 8:10,
Yeah.
Jack can. If Jack's not back at 8:10, we can hop back in.
You know
Just do
the
it.
instant, like the Nissan instant, like the bowls.
Yeah.
Dude, the only time I ever ate ramen was
Chicago?
What?
The Chicago Bulls.
No.
Doubles.
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 All right, what were you saying, Colt?
I got the Nissan, like the spicy chicken one. That's what I'm eating. Or about to.
I thought you were talking about a car.
No.
The Nissan.
Nissan?
Yeah, the Nissan spicy chicken.
Yeah, if you're an American. The Nissan.
Nissan?
No,
Nissan?
The Nissan. The Nissan. Say with me. Nissan.
Nissan.
Nice.
Nice. Nice.
Nathan.
Hey,
Nathan.
is the full word for Nike nickel?
Nickel. That's actually Nickelodeon.
Nickelodeon.
Nike shoes.
Back when I was a kid, Nickelodeons were things you put in nickels into. You gotta show.
Shut up, dude. Jesus. That's so old.
We didn't have movie theaters.
Like you're talking about peep shows. You stick a quarter in, you see some fucking things. God damn.
You put a nickel in and you'd say they're knickers. That's why they call
You
them
see
nickels.
some things. I saw some things. Give me a nickel, I'll show you something.
T minus 2 minutes.
What are y'all's favorite Halloween movies?
Man, I like all of the Evil Dead movies. I like all of them. I like them when they're campy and trying to be scary, but they're not. I like them when they like are trying to be scary and they are. and I like them when they're over the top. Like I like all of them. I
Okay, I'm
think
back.
my favorite one is like the one that came out in 1984 though. That one is just so fucking ridiculous. Like
What are you talking about?
we're talking about our favorite scary movies. But I
I
like
like
that.
Hocus Pocus.
Oh,
That's
sorry.
that's not
Sorry.
scary.
Which one?
Evil Dead's solid. Evil Dead is really solid. I watched what's the one that's not Evil Dead? It's in the Army of Darkness. I watched Army of Darkness recently.
Oh
I
yeah.
only really like slashers.
Which one do you like?
Nightmare on Elm Street. That's my favorite one.
Okay, yeah, because like there's a lot of slashers. If you like that, basically what you just translated to us right there was I only like scary movies from the 90s to the early 2000s. That's what that means. Like, because that was when all that stuff came out.
Wait, like Freddy Krueger and stuff. Like
Yeah,
Nightmare on
so
Elm
like
Street came out in the 90s.
yeah, so like from the 90s to like the 2000s, that's where you got all the slasher campy horror movies.
I mean,
like-
if you want to get
like-
technical, Nick, it started in like 1978 with Halloween, but
Well, that's why I wanted to like that's if I was gonna get technical, I would like throw that into like they were actually
Shining.
trying to be
Shining's
scary.
really good.
Like I have this moment where it's like 70s to 80s, they were actually trying to make a scary movie. And then like 80s to 90s, they had the formula for what makes a scary movie. So they were just trying to hit all the beats. And so like that's kind of how I differentiate it. So like, but yeah, you are right. If we want to get technical, like that's kind of Halloween is the beginning of the slasher saga.
Genre.
Yeah, that's where all like they all kind of derive from Freddy or from Mike Myers. But yeah, you can see like in the 80s and stuff, you can see like a lot more like psycho horror and stuff like that too. But yeah, 90s is where you get like the 90s is where you get like Pinhead and Jason
Hellraiser is so good.
and Freddy Krueger and like yeah, and the list goes on. The list goes on.
well, Friday the 13th
Alright.
one was 1980,
back.
and I'd say Freddy Krueger was like mid 80s.
Yeah,
I'd say
so
they
I
like
should
had,
pull that back further.
they
Slasher
had like
saga.
perfected it, and then in about the mid 90s is when Scream came out, and it like became like meta self aware.
Yeah.
You know, it sounded good. The
agree with all
original
that.
Jeepers Creepers. I like that movie.
Yeah, the first one's really good. I don't like the second one as much. I like the first one.
I had the third one, but that was just okay.
I didn't even know they made a third one.
There's like 4.
The first one's okay. The second one's fucking stupid.
Wasn't the
Jeepers
first one shot in
Creepers
Nebraska?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's cool.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre is pretty good.
dude. For some reason,
Which
my
version,
debit
though?
card billing address is still tied to Fairfield and not my own because USPS won't transfer my mailing address for some
That's so
reason.
annoying.
So like, I don't know how much
Oh,
mail
it's
I'm
opening
missing
your
out
mail.
on getting. Like, it's ridiculous. And I like can't fix it because I don't have a license. And they want me to bring in a license with my old address on it. And if I get a new license, it's gonna have my new address on it. So I don't even know how to fix it. It's so fucking weird.
Yeah. Dang. So you
Thought
need to
you
get
had a
some like.
license.
So if you want to get other forms of ID, you could try getting like a passport or something, but that's gonna cost more
Well,
money.
It's saying they want me to, in order to confirm my identity and my new address, I need a form of identification that has my old address on it.
Oh, that's so annoying. What the heck?
And that just doesn't
it
exist
just doesn't. I can't.
and cannot
Yeah,
exist.
that's so annoying.
So I don't know. I need to go in there, but at this point in time, I don't have my license because I need SR22 insurance to even get a license. It doesn't matter if I have a car or not. And I don't want to pay that if I'm not going to drive anyways. And if I get a state ID, I'm going to have to take my test again when I want to get my license back. And I don't want to have to take it again. Like, I already took it once.
Yeah.
Or twice now because I had to take it just a few months ago.
Well, everyone wanna get back to it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
like the ramen.
Sorry, we're not still streaming, are we?
We
I
are.
just vented the stream.
It's
Ha!
alright.
Hi.
That's
We have
okay.
no viewers. It's all good.
Yeah, we're just chilling. That is, I don't think you said anything exposing, so
True. And I'm the only viewer, so.
all stays pretty general. All right, yeah. So we were trying to figure out how to cross this river. Taking in a lot of the wondrous landscape around us, the new plants, the new animals. You see some of the similar flowers to what you saw earlier, but now they're being kind of like they're being medleyed with other types of fungus and other plant life and stuff as you're seeing around. Each one looks unique and interesting in their own way. So we just got done with Creech testing out the volatile log bridge that was covered in blistering fungus, the effects of which we are unsure about, but we don't want it on our bodies. And Jeff has noticed and has started moving toward a very nice looking bridge.
It is a nice bridge.
What the heck? Weird stuff. Okay. So moving up to the bridge, it looks it looks very nice, very well kept, very well maintained. Every brick looks like it's in its place. There's not a single thing like dislodged or anything like that. It looks very clean. There's some nature growing here and there on it, some moss and what have you within the cracks, but for the most part, you don't see like any dirt on this or anything like that, or any like nature-y buildup or anything.
Should I walk to the other side of the bridge?
Yeah,
Or
you
just like
can if you
just, like,
want.
get right in front of it?
So now you have two party members looking at the bridge from both sides, looking at a very warm and inviting bridge.
I want to admire the bridge from the center.
Sanaj moves over to the corner of the river bend, and we just did a check. What was that? An investigation check. All right, nice. With a 20, you get the vibe. You guys are like all looking at it, and Jeff, as you kind of like look at it, you get the vibe that like it feels like this is so nice of a bridge. You almost don't want to live on it.
Like a siren.
This bridge is a home. It's not just a bridge.
As you you say that over, you kind of call that out. As you call that out over to Creech, you see coming from like molding, almost like clay, coming from the bottom of the bridge. You see, just like a pair of eyes start peeking out from the floor, and then like it kind of like it stays like it's trying to. This is only Jeff is seeing this. Creech, this just looks like a bridge to you. But you're seeing almost like it's like a camouflage, like it's almost like someone sticking their head out of a manhole cover and like looking around, and then they stick their head back in the manhole cover, like sort of thing. But he's doing that like molding into the bridge. So you're just seeing like a head poke out and some like angry, frustrated looking eyes go from one side of the bridge and then turn around to look at you and then like quickly sink back into the bridge.
And did Jeff get replaced with the troll?
What? No, he's right over here.
But he's talking like a troll. He's been acting awfully troll-like.
Jeff, you are observing. You just kind of like sit
Feywild
here and
troll
you
crowd.
observe the bridge and like looking at the eyes like peek at you and stick their head back into the bridge. Your suspicions of this being a home are feel a little more confirmed. All the while, you just hear Sanaj yelling at you, being like, "You've been talking funny."
Can I investigate Jeff?
Yeah.
I would like to
He's a little
investigate
unstable.
Jeff.
You taking a really hard look at Jeff, and Jeff like takes a hard look at you back. He's just looking at you, staring at him all cockeyed, just like focusing in, like looking like you're really trying hard to like. You're just, you know, just staring him down across the bridge.
I'm just imagining his eyes just like extending like binoculars.
Jeff notices you and starts stepping closer to you, it seems. I don't know. What are you doing, Jeff? You see Sanaj just staring at you, just like suspiciously, all cockeyed, like one eyebrow raised, like one just squinting both eyes, looking.
What
really
do you
funny.
want, bro?
Something's up with you.
There's someone living in this bridge. On this bridge.
More than just the pitch of your voice. Can I
Look under
specifically
the
tell
bridge.
whether or not Jeff has 3 kids inside of a trench coat?
I'll have you roll another investigation.
Look under the bridge.
Sanaj stares,
He is.
gives another cockeyed stare to Jeff, leans in with his hands on his hips a little bit, and then he's like, and then he like leans back, as if he's like, oh nope, can't be that.
Yeah.
He leans back. You've decided, nah, he's not 3 people in one. He's not 3 people in a costume, but he is something.
Fucking something, alright. I'm on to you, buddy.
He's wearing a
I'm
wire.
going to continue walking along ever so suspiciously, glancing at Jeff every once in a while.
Sanaj seems to take more suspicion from Jeff right now than he does from the bridge. Gren, you look at this commotion going on and take a glance back at the blistering log. How does Gren feel about everything that's
The
happening?
blistering log.
Yeah.
I feel apprehensive.
Apprehensive about what in particular?
About the bridge.
I feel
I'll make sure everyone's safe.
I feel Gonto shares the same feelings. Getting kind of a look around with the more skeptical parts of the group. They don't feel like they can trust either bridge right now.
I'm gonna try to go across the same one as Creech.
All right, crossing that will require you to endure the blistering fungus. You can either, should you do nothing but just try to cross, or should you take no other precautions other than crossing? You'll have to complete a dexterity check to not get affected by or to not get hit by any of the blisters.
A dexterity check?
Yeah, unless you can think of anything else to do to the bridge before you cross it.
No. I feel lucky.
All right. you try to take kind of a remembering what happened before. You try to take a more proactive approach, and instead of trying to walk across it until you're surprised, you kind of just try to like jump the part that is covered in blisters. You kind of just try to like, I guess not even that. You try to like hop through it, kind of like hopping, landing with one foot, kind of like you're jumping on a bed of rocks across the river instead.
Like you're trying to go over hot coals.
Yeah, sort of, because with hot
Oh,
coals,
you
it
just
would be
walk over hot
yeah,
coals.
you just walk over hot coals. You don't want to put a lot of pressure into hot coals. No, this is more like there's a bunch
Opposite of hot coals.
yeah, it's more of the opposite. Yeah, so you managed to successfully cross the log without making one of the blisters pop.
Hoorah.
Ren successfully makes it to the other side unscathed and sees the similar sights that Creech saw that was described earlier, the medley of flora and fauna and the huge trees looming over the landscape, the bits of ruin here and there, and the very homely looking bridge. Jeff, at this point, you see as Gren is kind of coming into the scene, you see the eyes of the bridge peek out again and quickly submerge back into the bridge as if it was a mold of, or as if it was a tub of Jello.
Mm.
Have I seen it yet?
You have not. You weren't particularly looking for it, though. Whereas Jeff actually rolled an investigation check for the bridge, so that's why he sees this right now. As of right now, he's hiding successfully, even from you, Creech.
Wow.
Creech, you see Gren approach, triumphant about his crossing, and yeah. All the while, Jeff is still deciding on whether this bridge is enough to, whether this bridge is safe enough to cross or not. Jeff, how do you wish to respond right now?
I'm gonna check under the bridge.
Jeff walks around
I
to the...
think there's someone under there.
Jeff walks around and sort of like peeks underneath the arch of the bridge as he's like yelling, "I think there's someone under there," without actually like quite hitting the water yet. Unless you are. Are you walking into the water to do this?
No.
All right. So like kind of hanging out on the shore without crossing the bridge yet, he looks underneath the arch and yells, "I think there's someone under there!" And finally, at this point, you see a head submerge or emerge from the top of the arch upside down, and
Do I see it now?
well, are you looking under the bridge right now? Because this is underneath the arch of the bridge. Right now, your character's on top of the bridge.
Oh yeah.
So let's see. Jeff is here. So you definitely see Jeff. So are you seeing Jeff move around and you want to kind of see what he's doing? Or
Yeah.
Okay. So Creech sees Jeff yelling and goes and looks underneath the bridge as well. And he starts, like, both of you start seeing a head form from underneath the arch as a scruffy, old-looking, dwarf-like head begins to clamor at you. Ah, yeah, you thought right. Somebody does live here. Now would you go in and I'm trying to get some sleep.
Okay. You sure you don't got anything cool in there?
No, nothing's cool. Now
We
get
should
out of
like
here.
to see
Keep
some
away.
cool stuff.
No, like
Wait a minute, guys. It sounds like
a
something
sword
cool's
or
in there.
something.
So now you begin to you don't take the stony man at his word, and everyone starts kind of gathering around the commotion now, thinking that there's some stuff underneath this bridge.
Hey, show me your stuff, bridge dwarf.
Preach, you hear stuff, and you know that stuff is synonymous with shiny in your world. You may as well be hearing shiny at this point.
Yeah, I run over to see what Jeff is looking at. Just screaming shiny, shiny, shiny over and over as I run over.
Everyone starts like, so Kreesh is just like going in as, oh wait, are you, this is important. So how are you, so there's like a river of water. There's a little current of water that, if you get any closer, you'll be in it. Are you ignoring the water right now? Are you choosing to go inside of the water?
I'm just kind of running and just not even paying attention to it.
Okay, so that sounds like a yes to me.
Yeah.
So without even like, at this point, so committed to the shiny, Kreesh starts bounding toward the river. The stony dwarf seems to be getting mad and more exaggerated as he does so. I told you, back off! And as he's doing, as he's like running between the commotion, Kreech's legs, you're noticing that your feet are getting really heavy. Like, no, like at first it just kind of felt like you were running through like an ankle deep water, but it feels like the water is following you. So like, it feels like every time you take a step of water, a little bit of the water hangs onto your foot. And you notice, you look, you pull one of your feet out of the water completely. And you notice a blob of water, just like a little bubble, wrapping around your foot and ankle. Almost like it's a leg weight.
I get freaked out and try to shake it off.
You try to shake it off, but like nothing, like it's barely coming off. There'd be like a drop here or there that might come off, but it's sticking on to you. It's sticking on almost like it's just like globbed onto your foot.
Yeah, I just start squawking.
Kreech panics and begins like flapping his wings around and splashing around in the water and shaking his legs as he's doing so, and it eventually causes him to lose his balance and fall with his butt into the water. With a big splash, he starts seeing all of like everything that's made contact with the water now has a thin layer of water bubbling around it. So it's just every single one of his limbs, even if he pulls it out, it's still wet. It's still covered in like in like a little like glob of water. And
Wait. How is Jeff not being affected by this?
he's not in the water, he's on the coast.
Oh.
I asked him if he was stepping into the water yet, and he said no.
Okay, well, I just continue to freak out after more of my body is, you know. I don't know, I'm just kind of screaming at this
You
point.
need help?
Oh, there you go, you blasted fool, going into the water you know nothing about. Yep. Typical travelers, always walking into things they don't know nothing about. You better not be walking onto this bridge, I tell ya. I don't want none of your water, none of your wetness getting stuck on it.
Alright, I'm gonna start to cast Liamon's tiny hut. I need you guys to somehow retrieve the fucking Kenku and bring him into the hut before he drowns.
Specifically, you're not, Kreech isn't, like, stuck. Sorry, I
He's
should
not?
have elaborated. Kreech is not stuck. he is currently sitting with his butt in like the water, and he got back up. But what's happening is that like he could leave the pool, he could leave the river completely, but everything that he made contact with, all that water is still on him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
My bad.
No,
Never
totally.
mind.
Yeah.
Not gonna waste this spell slot anymore then.
It feels like, weirdly enough, it feels like it's kind of like you're dipping it in. It's like you're dipping a candle in wax. So, or it's yeah. So it's like when you dip like a candle in wax, there will be like a layer of wax that dries over it, and then you dip it again, and then another layer and another layer. That's what's happening. It almost feels like wax, except it's staying globby and wet. But like every single time Creech dips his foot. So it's like, let's say you're walking into the water. Every time he took a step, it globbed on another layer and another layer and another layer. So like, you know, his arms and stuff just have like a thin layer of water because it's like the first time he hit it. But like his feet are like, it's like those toddler weights that like yeah, it's like he's got like globby little like leg weights on right now.
Yeah.
So
do I manage to get out of the water?
Do you decide to get out of the water? You didn't tell me whether you wanted to or not. There you go. All right, yeah. So you successfully get out of the water. You shimmy out, noticing the effects. But you notice as you have gotten completely out of the water, the effects have stayed on your body. Your feathers, whether your feathers on your arms, your feathers on your butt, your clothes, these are wet and covered with like a layer of gloopy water, just sort of like pooling in those areas. It doesn't seem to spread around. Just the parts where you made contact with the water just collected and stayed with you.
So I guess I just try to get it off the best I can, but I don't think it comes off.
Yeah, it is not quite that simple. You try to get it off to your best ability, but you find that like you have to almost like take your hand and like scrape it off. And even then you can only get like thin layers of it at a time. So this is becoming quite it's not an impossible task, but this is becoming a very time consuming task for you to do right now. As of right now, it isn't necessarily impeding you, except for like a little bit. You feel slowed down. You feel weighed down by this. In fact, you feel like you feel like you're moving 5 less feet in a turn.
Just a vague feeling, you know?
A vague sensation that if you were to run in a certain direction for like, let's say 6 seconds, you would only be able to run 5 feet. You would run 5 feet shorter than what you would typically run in that span of time.
Yes, I feel like that sometimes.
Yes, me too. Creech, the ripples you noticed are kind of picking up a little more consistently at this point. Now, that isn't by much, but you do notice the ripples again.
So, I guess I'm just keep trying to get that water off of me.
All right. So now the party's seen sort of the more immediate effects that the water is having, should they choose to cross the river. We have found that this nice bridge here is in fact a home, and it is a home to a very cranky, cantankerous, dwarf-looking thing that is able to meld itself into the rock.
That has stuff.
That has stuff. Right, back to that. So, as we kind of found Creech frantically splashing along and discovering the effects of the water, it took us away from the idea that this guy might have stuff. You remember, as Creech leaves the creek, you remember, hey, this guy might have stuff. And, you go back to interrogating this guy about his alleged stuff.
If he if he is like living in that bridge, like right under that water, he must have stuff to prevent this.
Sure. All kinds of stuff, probably.
Well, he's living quite literally in the bridge. Like when he formed underneath the arch of the bridge, his head came out of the arch of the bridge. So he's staring at all of you upside down with just his head peeking out of the stone mold of that he's casting underneath the bridge.
Oh.
Yeah. So the water is freely flowing under the bridge, and he is not touching the water at all.
Boy, mate, you got a license for that stuff.
That's my stuff license. You think I'm giving it to you? Fat chance. He starts like spitting. Every spit that he has is like a little bit of gravel. Like, he just spits gravel at your face.
I really think Jeff should get the gun.
Do I need to shoot you? Come on.
Oh, give it your best shot. I've fought for this land for years, and I continue to make my bridge my bridge.
Gonna ricochet a bit.
My grandpappy built this bridge, and there's no way I'm letting any of you walk on it.
We can't even walk.
I don't
Isn't that what a
know,
bridge is for, sir?
This is my home. You think I'm just gonna let you walk over it?
Okay, but sir, why did you build your home in the shape of something that is most commonly walked on if you would prefer people to not walk on it? Wouldn't you make it more something deterring to walk on? As if, say, a pit of spikes?
Why would
Or
that make
some
sense?
lava?
We wanted to live. My grandpappy wanted to live over a river. You can't put a house on a river, can you?
Who says?
What?
Why not?
I don't know, okay? All I know is my grandpappy built a bridge, and my daddy made the bridge really nice, and I'm here to keep the bridge really nice. And that means
That's really nice.
I'm not letting you walk over it.
So what you're saying is that you are too lazy to maintain the bridge to current standards, or unskillful enough, so you deny others the privilege of walking on said bridge.
No, I'm not unskilled. Look at my hands. He pulls his hands out, like it just like you see, like now all you see is his arms sticking from like upside down and his head, and he's just like, do these look like soft hands to you? You see hands completely made out of rock and stone.
All I see is a bridge built years ago and no bridge builder.
He takes great offense to this. Not bridge, and then it's just like, he just like in a tantrum, just like shoots up back into the bridge, like morphs back. So all you see is a bridge. And then, at this point, his, you see slowly emerging from the top a mound of earth. Like, it looks like a mound of molding clay. And then the clay shapes into the stature of this, what it looks like a Korrid. Which is a stony, dwarf-like looking thing that, you have, you've maybe seen around here or there.
Is this thing evil like a red hat?
A red cap?
A red
And
hat.
I don't think red caps are inherently evil. The one we thought were just possessed.
Oh. I mean, they do dip their hats in blood.
Red caps are inherently dicks. And those in particular. So, like, I don't know, but it's hard to say. Because, yeah, red caps are like, they're like the worst version of gnomes. Like, they're like the worst version of an Oompa Loompa. So like they tend to be evil, but they're not all the time. It
I
depends.
mean, we befriended that one.
But I mean, like, yeah, they are like they're dickish in nature. Like they would much like a good night on the town to them is walking around and kicking people in the shins. Yeah, no,
Like
this guy.
Orc.
This guy's a little different. This guy looks like a dwarf, except he's really like mangled. He has a big mangy beard. He has like stony looking dreadlocks that look like pieces of clay that have kind of like pulled out of his hair. Very similar to like, there's like, I don't know, if there was like, it's very similar to like some of the like, when like tribes would like put clay in their hair and stuff like that. It looks a lot like that, except it's just like dark clay. It seems that like out of his hair he has like, so, and then also he has these like these goat hoof looking legs. He has like regular stouty dwarf looking arms. His beard covers his body almost like a tunic of sorts, and yeah, he has these like goat hoofy legs. He reveals his full form to the lot of you and begins pulling his hair like out of his head, but instead of like it pulling out, it just continues to grow longer and longer and longer until he forms a very, very long whip out of it and just starts like twirling it.
Do you think that guy knows thieves can't? The dwarf guy, the stone dwarf.
Do you want to attempt to it? I mean,
Yes.
the only way to figure it out is to try. That's so you know, if you have any questions, you might as well just try it as an experiment.
Roll a really good perception check.
Yeah,
Maybe
or
he's wearing.
or you gotta roll real high.
Could I just like walk up to like right here and just kind of sign? See if he responds.
Are you walking onto his bridge?
No, just like right here.
Just right to the edge of his bridge?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead. Give it a shot.
Okay, like what do I roll?
Well, what are you signing to him? What are you using? What are you?
I'm just
what are you
like-
so thieves can't
just
is a
like-
way to talk. So what are you
I
saying
know.
to him?
Can you understand me? So I just want to see if I can. So what do I roll for that? What?
Okay. I'm gonna do a roll. I think I need to just do this as. I think it needs to be unmodified.
Oh, is that's not gonna work or?
No, this is gonna work fine. I need to do the roll, not for what I'm thinking of. Why is it doing that? Come on, chat. Why won't it let me roll? What's going on? Okay, that's annoying. We'll just do it this way. This is gonna be an unmodified roll, so.
Okay, so a 10.
You
What's
get-
passing?
So that's you don't know what the roll is, so you don't even know what I'm rolling for. So give me just a hot second. So you start doing like some thieves cant to him, and that's what you say. You say, "Do you understand?" And at first, the Korrid like starts taking a step to you, and he starts swinging his like he starts twirling his whip, his hair like his hair like whip, really fast as if he's about to strike you. And then you guys like you see like a gust of wind roll by, and during this gust of wind, he like takes a moment. Like takes a beat, stops all of his like aggressive behavior, and like looks at you as if he can completely understand you. And then he goes right back to it, and he starts talking to you in Thieves' Cant. He says, "Perfectly. Now get." He tells you to leave.
if he wasn't going to attack me, I was just gonna kind of tell him if he didn't let us, or if he didn't, give us some like, or I don't know, I'd just throw him off the bridge.
So
He didn't have a weapon.
he's telling you. All right. So let me describe what happened a little more simply. So at first he didn't understand you, and he was gonna swing at you, but then a gust of wind just like happened, right? Like something like ominous in the world happened, and now he can understand you perfectly. And so now he's thieves canting back to you, and he's saying, "Yes, I can understand you. Now get out."
I guess I just looked defeated and walked back.
Do you want to say anything back? He's just a cantankerous dwarf. Like, he's.
I just say, all we want is just something to fix this water sticking to me.
All right. So
We
you.
want more than that.
Well, I don't. No.
Oh, wait, no, I can't understand thieves can't. Never mind, I don't say anything.
I just say that, and if he doesn't give it to us, we'll throw him off the bridge.
He asks you, "Is that a threat?" And he starts like taking his arm and putting it in his armpit and like squeaking it or like pushing it down, making fart noises, and that's supposed to translate to you as, "Is that a threat?"
I kind of wish I didn't say that because I had to think.
And you got
I
it's a
guess
yes or
I'm-
no question. Take the risk, Colt. Do what you want to do. Don't think about whether you're making the right choice. What's the Creech choice?
Yes.
All right, there you go. Yes. And so,
Is that an intimidation?
yeah. Is there anything? So you're telling him yes, right?
Yeah.
All right. Do you want to take it further?
Yes.
All right. So are you trying to intimidate him right now?
Yes. Can
Okay.
I roll an intimidation?
Yeah, go ahead. How does Creech be intimidating by like so he's intimidating this dude with thieves can't. What is he doing that indicates to this guy that this is a threat? Bear in mind, thieves can't is not one-to-one sign language. Thieves can't can be I jingle my balls in his direction and he's supposed to take that as the dogs went that way. You know what I'm saying? Like it's
Yeah, I was
get to
just
make it up.
thinking I'd just kind of just hold up. Just like grip like the butt of my sword, my flanked rapier.
all right, so you
Just
brandish
stare
your
at him.
weapon at him?
Yeah.
That's what you're doing?
Yeah.
So you're okay.
I don't. Will that not work? Or
No, there's everything works. There's never a moment where like the only times things don't work is when you can't do something. But like the way this game works is you always make the attempt. Like is it gonna get the reaction you want? Well, maybe. That's up to the Corrid to decide. Does that make sense? Like
yeah.
like I can like for instance I can be like like hey I'm gonna like I don't know I can be like
Yeah.
yeah whatever yeah, so like
Can I
basically
roll?
it's how normal interactions go. Like you can only do your part of communicating and then they do their part. So
Mm.
yeah, so the Corrid sees you being like so he asks you if that's a threat. You say yes and then brandish your rapier at him. The Corrid stares you down, sort of like sizes you up a little bit and then feels very like confident that and feels very confident. He twirls his whip around and then gesturing with one hand, using a he gives you a like he takes his thumb and draws it across his neck and he's like that's supposed to translate to you as I can take you. And at this point
I
he
didn't even
sends his
roll.
he sends his whip. What are you rolling for?
I was just gonna roll for intimidation. But it's fine now.
Oh,
Never mind.
that's no. I mean, that's no good. All right, that's fair. That's fair. I forgot about that part.
So just
All right.
there we go. It's almost a nat 20.
Okay. He feels threatened by you, and at this point, he gestures at the line, and he like kind of draws a line in the ground, like with his finger, and you can see the earth mold. You can see like right before the earth meets the bridge, you see a line get drawn in the brick, and then he gestures to you to stay on your side. He says, with thieves can't, not a step closer.
Does he, like, sound scared or...
Yeah, he's intimidated, and he's telling you, don't move a step closer.
I tell him in thieves can't, just give us what we want, and we won't hurt you.
He's like, at this point, he's frustrated. He's like, he gestures and he does one of those, like, he does like the John Travolta, like, look back and forth, and he says, you didn't say what you wanted.
We want some, I say in thieves can't. If I just have to keep saying I say in thieves can't, or...
No, just say it. Oh, sorry, I guess.
I mean, so like, you know, it's, no, you can, yeah, you can just say it, but like, I guess there was an element of fun if you wanted to play with the idea of you making up whatever you wanted. The reason I'm doing this isn't so that you have to, it's so that you can be like, oh, we can just make up whatever we want right now. That's all I was trying to do. So like, when I was like, he cups his armpit and makes the armpit fart noise, and you're supposed to take that as, no, like, I understand you perfectly, don't come any closer. Like, you're not, there's no actual way you can figure that out. But like, you know, it's like, Preach could turn around and shake his booty, and that could tell him perfectly, I want stuff. Like, or I want, you know, whatever you wanted. I don't remember what you wanted.
I don't...
Repeat that part.
I just tell him that... Just give us some... Or, in thieves can't, I just tell him that... I just want... We want something to fix what happened to me when I went in the water.
And, he responds... He does like a little, like, he shakes his head and he moves his hand back and forth. He's like, I got nothing. Get out of here.
I'm kind of stuck. I don't know what to do after that. It's like, I kind of want to attack him, but I don't know how much health he has.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, you're not always gonna know how much health the dude has. Yeah, so
Okay.
Creech is getting... So people are seeing that Creech is getting frustrated with this and almost wants, like... He's kind of, like, brandishing his weapon a lot and is, like, trying to pull his sword out. How is the rest of the party responding to this? Anybody want to jump in?
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Slow your roll, man.
So Jeff's picking up your vibe, Creech, and he's yelling at you to cool it.
So while they're distracted, I'm gonna see if I can sneak onto the bridge.
All right. We're gonna need to get a stealth check out of you.
Can you roll that
Right.
for me, please?
We'll roll it with advantage because you your foe is quite distracted right now. So you go and you manage to walk over to the bridge, and you manage to take you start tiptoeing around, and then you make a little bit of a tiptoe onto the bridge itself, and you pull it away. to see if the Korid notices, and you have received no reaction from the stony creature.
Okay.
You've taken
Anyone else?
Sanaj, you've taken a step at the end of the bridge. You see that he currently does not notice you. How do you respond?
Was there a hole of where he popped out of, or did it fill back in?
It filled back in. It was almost as if he is melded with the bridge itself.
Can I check for any? I want to see if I can check for any like hollow spots.
All right. Get you an investigation check.
Nat 20s.
Nat 20. You are looking this thing up and down, every nook and cranny of it, and you are just finding, like, this is quite literally one of the most, like, pristine bridges you've ever seen. Like, as far as, like, the condition, there is not a single brick out of place. Not a single hole or a nook for, like, anything to crawl through.
Damn, this is a solid bridge.
This one nice bridge.
I wasted a 20 on that.
Could I?
Them's the ropes. Sometimes we be looking real hard at nothing, not at nothing, but like, yeah, sometimes we just be really looking really hard at a nice bridge.
I mean, it is a nice bridge.
Yeah, you're looking for like, I mean, yeah, it's hard to say. There's
Okay. Well, instead, I want to take my dagger and I want to very quietly leave a S carved into the bridge. Actually, scratch that. A gangster S, like you drew in middle school.
All right, you start etching a $S. When you're noticing in the column, actually, there is something there. One little
Something there?
Yeah, there's like a little piece of stone. You know, it's not to say that every brick in this is perfect. There's some big bricks, there's some little ones. There's one that is like, it's perfectly wedged in, but it sticks out just enough that you can kind of like wrap your index and your thumb around it. Like you can just kind of like, it's almost like pulling out a stick of gum. Like it's like a little piece of slate.
I'm gonna pull that stick of gum.
You give it a little tug, and as you're doing so, the whole bridge begins to shake. Just a little bit. It felt like moving it. You know, I've like, if you ever like moving it felt like you were moving a rock out of a pile of rocks. It felt like it was moving the rest of the pile as you were moving it out. And this causes a notable change in the it causes a noticeable shift in the bridge that everyone is able to see, especially the Korid. You hear the Korid currently staring and having a standoff with Creech right now. Gets very shocked, like has like a startle of fright, and then begins to turn around to face you, Sanaj. What do you do?
Is he beginning to turn around, or has he seen me?
He's startled and he's turning.
All right.
So you get a beat to react because he's reacting so heavily to this.
I am going to dive for the column and attempt to hide behind the column.
All right. This will be the last roll for the night. As he dives for a stealth. All right.
20 again.
A 25.
In a row.
A nat 20. So, yeah, you successfully, as the Korid looks around, immediately turns around toward you as you, successfully, but like all he sees is the leaves wish by him as, you successfully dive around the other side of the pillar, peeking over like a Scooby-Doo character.
Oh, I wanted to keep that piece of bridge, by the way. Is that a possibility? Or is it too big a
You
piece?
did not pull it out yet. As you were
Oh, okay.
pulling it, everything started moving.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, you didn't quite pull it out. Now you could if you want, but it will take a little. It kind of would take a little more action to do that than like your dive. If that makes sense. Like you could choose to pull it out or you could choose to dive away. You couldn't choose to do both, sort of thing.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna stay hidden. I'm gonna try to play this one out.
All right. Corrid turns around, almost shocked, and sees that nobody is there, and then immediately turns back to Creech. But this time he like takes a step away from Creech, moving more toward the center of the bridge, and he's kind of like turning back and forth. He's turning toward everybody he can see, with his whip sticked out, twirling around in front of him. And he goes, "Listen here, I don't know what your funny business is, but I'm not having any bit of it. Get away from my home!" And that is where we will leave things off for tonight.
No.
Tune in next session as we continue the adventures of the party and the cranky Corrid.